Hi, I'm Marg Evans. I work with SARDI in South Australia, and what I'd like to talk with you about today is a fungal disease of winter cereals called Eyespot. Now, Eyespot produces, as you might expect, an eye-shaped lesion on the bottom parts of the plant, on the main stem usually, but often on the tillers as well. And that lesion in itself will cause yield loss, but the real problem with Eyespot is that that lesion causes stem weakening, and then you get lodging of your crop. That makes it extremely difficult to pick up at harvest, and you also risk a lot of grain weather damage. So one of the key things to managing Eyespot is to know you actually have Eyespot in the paddock. When do you look for it? Well, this is a sneaky little disease, and the symptoms don't actually appear until well into stem elongation, which is way after you could do anything about managing it. So in South Australia in particular, I am looking at yield loss, and I am looking at the resistance of the current commercial varieties that we have, and we're very lucky. A number of our current commercial varieties do have some resistance or less susceptibility to Eyespot, but a lot of the commonly grown varieties are actually reasonably susceptible. And when you actually grow a lot of cereals in your rotation, you retain the stubble and do a direct drill, then you are looking at if you're in the high rainfall area, you are looking at possibly having Eyespot as a problem in your paddock. Now, all lodging doesn't mean Eyespot, but what you need to do is check the bases of those plants for the eye-shaped lesions, and if that is the case that they're present, then you probably do have an Eyespot problem. You can use the Predictor-B analytical service to look at your soil levels of Eyespot. That's one of the best ways of working out beforehand whether or not you should be using a fungicide to actually manage this particular disease. One of the real problems with Eyespot is that the symptoms don't actually appear until well after you need to apply fungicides to manage this disease. In fact, the symptoms won't appear until you're around about GS3, almost certainly, so well into stem elongation. Any fungicide application needs to be before canopy closure, round about the start of stem elongation. And of course, if you're going to choose a variety that has less susceptibility, you need to do that at the start of the year. So your Predictor-B or keeping an eye on crops in your paddock are the best way to go to manage this particular disease. One of the funny things about Eyespot is that on a number of occasions, the way in which it has been identified is because a farmer has gone out into his paddock and he has thought, gee, there's bad kangaroo damage in the corner of that paddock this year. And he's gone, I haven't seen any kangaroos this year. Maybe I'd better go and have a look at that area. There's Eyespot on the bottom of the plants.